Hi everyone, welcome back to my garden. I didn't think I was going to record another video before the end of 2021, but it has just been record-breaking rain here in Southern California. Just this constant rain for almost 2 weeks, a little bit of rest in between, maybe a couple of hours, but drizzle and rain and hail and freezing temperatures, and it's just been so cold, and I've been concerned for my succulents, but this is not our first rodeo. We have had um, weather very like this one. Last year we had a period where it rained a lot too, and we had just torrential rain and hail. And I wanted to show you the effects of what this storm has done to my garden. As you can see, everything is saturated. The fence, look at the color. It is dark brown. It's just like bowing and just so full of water. And the same goes for the ground, the soil. And for the most part, most of the succulents are doing great. This is the euphorbia, and it is just loving it. I do like taking pictures, plenty of pictures, because I can zoom in on the photos and I can see if there's any concerns, any water damage, any rotting that is apparent. Um, I really won't know. I am very pleased that my lights are finally clean. They are nice and clean and dust free, but the plants are, well, as I said, these plants that I have here in the ground are resilient. They've been with me for many years. These are the ones that have survived and that are tried and true. And this is what I'm keeping, those coral aloes, those aloe veras, those aeoniums, the myrtillo cacti. Look at the crest on the myrtillo cacti. It is doing just great, and I am keeping an eye on this one because this one just formed by itself. I did buy another myrtillo cactus that is a crest, and you'll see that later on. But this one just happened magically, like crests do. Here you're seeing the coral aloe, and it looks like if that's rot in there, but it's actually dirt. I checked that out because I was a little concerned. I'm going to keep an eye on it anyhow. But that's the mama coral aloe, and she has been doing great. Um, a few months ago, I went ahead and cut off her roots and just reset her in the ground. So she had plenty of time to callus and to do good. The Dorothea, you were seeing the Dorothea aloe there, and she's getting a little bit red and stressed. Here you're seeing an agavoides and my Sahara Echeverias. Again, one of those, the smaller one looks a little bit rough, but it's surviving. And here you're taking another look at this coral mama, and see, look at the little Dorothea. I can't wait till that one thrives. I bought her really little, and that one has a clumping tendency, and she turns orange like the Cameroonier, so I'm looking forward to that. Here are the coral babies, and look at how well they're doing. These had a tiny bit of root when I took them away from the mama, and I set these here. The others are in the bird bath, the ones that were smaller, and they're all doing great. I have not lost one of them. So the coral aloe is becoming my favorite here. Of course, the aloe vera and the alligator or gold tooth aloes are wonderful. They are very resilient, and look at this. They're doing great with all that water. You see little spots in between, and those are actually leaves that have broken off and have gotten stuck there. So I do have to get my big tweezers and kind of take those out of there when we dry out a little bit, because right now it's just about hoping that nothing gets too wet and rotten. Again, with these succulents, what you want is great drainage. And for the most part, all these have good drainage. This aeonium here, I went ahead and it's randomly under my netted porch here, and I do have some protection in case it hails again. I don't want it to get damaged, even though it got a little bit of damage. Here's the Myrtillo cactus, and look how beautiful. I mean, that blue color and then just the shapes. I just love this cactus. It's just gorgeous. My little topiaries are doing great. They're loving the water. And again, drainage, can't stress it enough. I have this one set on some pavers so that the water drains well and doesn't, the little pebbles or the rocks don't get in the holes and, kind of bog the water down. Here is the other Myrtillo cactus I was telling you about that I purchased, and barely it's showing growth, but it's doing great. Now for the sad news. Like a week ago, we had some hail, and I thought I got away with no damage, but as I'm looking at these portulacarias or elephant bush plants, both the mammoth and the regular one, they have damage. Here, the sticks on fire, 0 damage. And I have other plants like the little alligator aloe that's with these plants also, 0 damage. But the portulacaria, the Luria Procera, and some of the aeoniums, they got this damage on them. Again, it's because of partly the force of the hail, and also because of the cold. It was very cold. It hailed at night, and it didn't help. Now I wanted to show you this one. I purchased this one in Kentucky when I went to visit my daughter. This one will not be making it. It didn't like the cold. It didn't like the water, and I'm just gonna let it go. You gotta pick your battles, they don't make it. They're just, that one was from Kentucky, so I'm pretty sure it needed to be in a controlled environment. Here you're looking at the aeoniums, and this is my raised bed, and I have some that are in the soil, some that are in pots, just because I was waiting to find a location for them, and the storm happened. So I'm very sad that this one is having a little bit of damage, but the crown looks beautiful. The bottom leaves of this Kalanchoe, this is the Fantastica. This is one of the babies, not the moms. The moms are way long gone. These are the babies, and I mean, it's trying to survive here. Now this ruffled Echeveria baby is having a tough time. Look at all of the scarring that it has and all this damage. It's just sad. And this copper spoons is it's just not doing good at all. I mean, I cut it completely, and I have the cuttings, and the cuttings are doing great, but I left the stem, and it did throw off these leaves, but with the cold and the hail, they got really scarred, very damaged, and it's very sad to see, but I'm gonna let them be. It looks like if it's got a lot of little new notes, so I'm excited about that. And if I have to cut off these leaves and just restart the cuttings, I will. Here you're seeing the Luria Procera, and it has gone through a lot of growth. It's loving the water, but it got severely damaged with the hail, and I don't understand. But it wasn't just the hail, because it's so constant. All those little pits and scarring, I believe it's the actual water that froze on there, and it caused all this damage. Aside from the just the unsightly scarring, it's doing great. It looks like if it has a lot of new growth, and it has several little new arms. These are arms that are growing from one of the long arms. They're growing up, and look at all the little leaves that are coming out. All that naked fleshy arms, and those little leaves. So here I was doing some research and looking and trying to compare. I was thinking maybe it's something else, some type of a fungus or animal, but no, it definitely seems to be damage from the hail and just the freezing droplets that are left on there. And these plants are just not liking it. And yeah. And again, you have to take all these moments of stuff that happen that are unexpected or not good and turn them into something good. Here we're learning about um, why this happened and how this happened and what it is, how to identify it. And for sure, I think next time I'm going to try to cover them and protect them, and just kind of put like a sheet of cloth, this kind of yard cloth on top of them or something so that they don't get damaged, because these leaves are on there for a long time and you'll have to deal with looking at this situation for a while. These plants were under this little bench that I built, and they seem to be doing good, although they got a lot of water too. Um, they weren't scarred or anything, and these are the cuttings actually that by now should be rooted, and they're doing great. Look at no scarring at all, but these were close to the house, so they were covered by the eave, and they have no scarring at all. This plant, which is the Vicks plant, has just given me, it's grown a lot, but just the insects love it. They just love it. You would think that they wouldn't, but they eat it up, and it also got damaged with the hail. And here is the raised bed that I made, and it is doing great, but I have some plants again here that are not going to make it, and some that are doing great. The aloes love the water, and as here, this brevifolia aloe is just loving it here. It is doing great in this little pot, and yeah, so this is a great one to get. It's not clumping a lot. They usually don't clump in the cold weather. They tend to clump more in spring and in the summer. And for now, they're kind of dormant, even though they do throw some bloom spikes or sprigs. But for the most part, they're kind of dormant. No pups. Here is the Thanksgiving cactus, still blooming, beautiful. Fuchsia flowers here. And the beautiful aloes and agaves, the mama, the daughter, the baby. They're just doing great, and I'm just keeping an eye on them. And again, you can't see, but this area is a little bit sloped, and we do have a drain in the concrete that catches all the extra water that flows into this area. If it's a lot of water and the ground is saturated, all that extra water just flows down to the concrete and ends up draining. And it's amazing, because if I overwatered these plants, they would rot. But the rain does it, and they love it. So sometimes you just have to hope, and it's something in the rainwater. These plants just love it. All these beautiful aeoniums are doing great. Again, this was my goal, to multiply these And I've just, even though they went through some mealybug situations here, they're doing great now. And again, these baby coral aloes in the bird bath. Look at that, so much water. And you see that they're dark inside, but that's just a little leaf that's stuck in there. And I wanted to point that out. Well, it seems like if after this rain and after the storm, we just have a few more leaves left on the trees. And after all these fall, um, we are going to have a beautiful garden, super hydrated and gorgeous. With all this weird weather, I've just not repotted anything or tried to move anything. And this goes for this beautiful planter, even though I do have a coral aloe here, and there's another one that I have here that I need to move. Well, this castor aloe is doing great here, so I really don't want to move it, but this coral aloe for sure I need to move out of here because that one tends to grow really big. So another look at these beautiful pots here, and just that drain, if you can notice the drain right there between the rocks, that helps a lot. But with all these leaves here, I do have to come out in the rain sometimes and kind of clear them so that they keep draining. And yeah, again, look at, I mean, still, when I took these pictures today, we still have another day of rain, and everything again is super saturated, so I won't be watering any of this stuff for a good while. The lemon tree and the grapefruit tree seems to love it, which is great, because I want to take those to my daughter's house this spring so that we can plant them over there. But look at this, gorgeous, gorgeous. And again, I'm so happy that for the most part, all these are doing great. But again, I'm done with buying a bunch of showy little succulents that I know aren't going to survive. Um, if you buy them, love them, enjoy them, take pictures, and just in your mind know that you're not going to keep them forever. But I'd rather have succulents that I can keep in the ground and can reproduce, and it's less expensive, and I really wouldn't want to have to put them under grow lights. In our, if I had to, I would definitely, but in our weather, I can get away with putting them in the ground, and I love that I'm able to share this with you guys. So again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you have a fantastic New Year's Eve, and wish that 2022 is just a turning point, and that we get back to normal and everyone is healthy and happy and just peace on earth. All right, everyone. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.